the only companies, and I got two responses to my resume being put out there, were Wall Street firms. Now, this is a unique thing, and I had no knowledge of Wall Street, had
Yeah.
no clue what Wall Street was, never traded stocks, didn't know the name. I mean, I was a snowboarder. Come on, I
Mhm.
didn't care about that stuff. How she would save is she would go to the grocery store and whatever money, because back then we actually used cash,
Mhm.
she'd get change and I'd watch her and she would show me this. I think intently, I don't really know, but she would drop the change in this. She had this glass jar, this
Mhm.
big, and we needed a lawnmower one time, and I remember she told me, she said, I'm going to save change up, and then we're going to buy a lawnmower next summer. And darn well she did. I wanted this dirt bike so bad. So I would save. I would go out and I would wash. My grandparents lived in a mobile home. So I would go there and I'd go around because a mobile home is pretty easy. You just go around neighbor to neighbor to neighbor. And I would ask, can I wash your windows? And they'd all give me like a couple bucks. $5 was a lot back then. And I would save it. I'd give it all to my mom and she put it in this little black box. And I remember I'd gotten a little taller, so the KX60 would have kind of been too small of a bike. But my mom, for some weird reason, she said, "Hey, Chris, do you want to go to Hebler's and look at dirt bikes?"
Mhm.
And then at the end, we're just leaving, and I thanked Joe. And my mom, before we got in the car, she looks at me, she stops me, and she says, "Chris, would you like to take one of those dirt bikes home? Which one would you like?" I thought she was kidding with me. And she says, "Okay, let's go buy it." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Chris, all that money you've been saving on all those things in the black box, you saved up enough money." So I called ahead and I said, we wanted to come ride some dirt bikes and we were going to buy one. So like that's a young example of kind of how I operated and how I dreamed and just kind of my first experience of saving money for a particular thing that I really wanted and then having that fulfilled. School was never easy for me, but I always did well. But when I became an entrepreneur, when I had this company, I changed my curriculum. I went to the guidance counselor and I changed all my classes and I went for business law. Anything that had business in it, I took those classes. But you see, school had a major turnaround because now I wasn't going to school because I had to, because I needed good grades so mom would be proud. I went to school to learn, to apply that night in my business.